Hey everyone! All right, our objective today in math is that we're going to be writing money, the same amount of money, two different ways. We're going to be writing them using a dollar sign and a decimal point, and then we're going to be writing them without the decimal point, just as a whole bunch of cents. And you'll find out that for some problems, it kind of makes sense to talk about cents, but in other problems, this is not the way I would ever write money. So maybe they're just having a little fun with money, or they just want to show you what it can do. But most of the time, you'll see me using dollars and decimal points more often than just many, many cents. But it's kind of a fun one to look at least for one day. So think about this. In money, we use these two symbols. And lots of kids in second grade think they're the same thing, but they're really not. This one is talking about dollars, right? Which are collections of 100 cents, right? That's $1. And then this is used to talk about kind of the leftovers, the cents of things, right? If something doesn't cost very much, you're just going to use this symbol usually. Let's see what it says right here. Yep, dollar sign, cent sign. And they actually kind of work differently. When you use the dollar sign, you put it up in the front where the dollars go. And when you use the cent sign, you put it way in the back where the cents go. So they kind of go in different spots too, and you never have to use both of them at the same time. In fact, it can get a little confusing if you try to use both symbols. Okay? So you're going to pick one that you like and that makes sense to you and just kind of stick with it. But no, you could always switch to the other one, but you might have to move the decimal point out of there. Okay? Because there are no decimal points when you're talking about cent sign. Okay, so this is kind of the same amount of money written two different ways. So here we have $2. See, up by the dollar sign, we know they're dollars because they're by the dollar sign. And then there's a decimal point, which separates the dollars on the left from the cents on the right. So this one has cents too. Even though it's a dollar sign, you can still show cents just by putting it on the other side. Kind of why I like this one better, to be honest. But if you wanted to, you could write it without the dollar sign, without the decimal point, and just put it all together in one big mountain of cents. So $2, which means 200s, 50 cents is the same as 250 cents. It makes sense. So you can write it both different ways. Though I'm going to probably come back to this one as my go-to because I think it's a little more organized and it's easier to carry, right? If I actually gave someone 250 cents, it would be quite hard to put that amount of change in your pocket. Whereas if I give you $2.50, it's easy to carry. Probably a little bit more efficient to think about it like this. But let's talk about it both ways and let you make your own choices about what you want to do because they're both correct answers. Okay, so the first thing they want to tell you is they want me to explain that every time you have 1 cent, it can be written the other way with a dollar sign, right? So here's why that works. It's a little bit unusual to do it like this, but let's talk about it. Maybe I should stick up here first. So, 100 cents is the same as $1 and no extra cents. See that? 200 cents is the same as $2 and no extra cents. You can choose to include those zeros in the back, or you could just write it as $1 or $2. Here is where you actually need the cents because you have some extras. 203 cents. So they did $2 and 03, right? Because these are pennies they have. Dimes would go here. Pennies would go here. Tens, ones. That make sense? I shouldn't use that word. It's confusing because we're talking about cents. All right, so here are a few more examples. 1 cent can be written as 1 cent. 14 cents can be written as $0.14. 520 cents is the same thing as $5. That's most of it right there. And then just the 20 cents left over. 1,000 cents is the same as $10, see? With no cents left over. And that's where it gets ridiculous, because nobody anywhere would want 1,000 cents. We would much rather have $10. It's easier to carry. Now, if you can change cents into dollars, you can do the opposite too, can't you? You could change dollars into hundreds of cents. You could change $7, right, here's my $7, into 795 cents. You could change $9 into 900 cents. Okay? All right, now that I've talked about all that, let's see it work. Okay? So here's a group of cash, some money. We're going to count it, and we're going to show it both ways. Let's do this one first. How many dollars do I have here? Well, I have $5 and 5 more dollars. Together I have $10. I'm going to write that down, $10. And I have some cents. Let's count those. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33. So most of the time you would see this dollar amount written with a dollar sign and a decimal point, but you can get rid of those. Let's do it just for fun. If you want to change the 33 cents into 33 cents, you don't have to do anything. You can just do that. Just bring it over, 33 cents, right? And then for the $10, just know that those are going to be hundreds. So you put them way up in the hundreds place, right? So there I have my 1,033 cents is the same as $10.33. If I wanted to change it back, I would just have to put my decimal point in between and put my dollar sign in the front. Writing it both ways is the lesson today. Here's another one. What are we looking at here? Are we looking at $2,030, 20 and 30 cents, or are we looking at $20 and 30 cents? So they've used all the right numbers. There's the 20, so every one of them has a 20. And here's 30 cents, every one of them has 30. But which one is actually correct, right? Well, this one looks kind of right, but they're using the wrong symbol. This is a lot of money. This is what we're looking at here. We're looking at $20, check, and 30 cents. So they might have you circle the one that matches the picture. They might have you count the amount. Here are your pages, and I just need to apologize a little bit in advance. In the video especially, the pictures are hard to see, right? I think when I put this in Seesaw, I'll probably try to clear these up a little bit for you, but I'm going to do the example and hopefully get you guys writing the dollar amounts for sure. And then for fun, you can change over a few into cents too. Okay? So let's talk about the dollars first. How many dollars? $2 and big decimal point so I can see it. How many cents? Well, here's 10 and another 10. 10, 20. So writing it this way is the normal way to do it, but you can just get rid of the decimal point, just get it out of there, and just go 220 cents. This shows them separate. This puts it all together into one big pile. I want you to count the dollars first. Decimal point, count the cents. Don't get fooled. These are nickels, even though they look a little funny. I think we all know these are dimes, but sometimes that nickel can be a tricky one for kids. So when you're adding up these, remember these are nickels. These are not quarters. On the second page I'm going to have you do, all you have to do is swap them. So here, 543 cents is the same as $5.43. So here I had to put the decimal point in. Down here, I just have to take the decimal point out. These are much easier. 695. So $6.95 turns into 695 cents. Why anyone would want 695 cents, I have no idea, but they want you to be able to write them both ways and flip them between. This is the more useful activity, I think. Don't fall for this one here. So I'm going to say $0, 0 dimes, and 2 cents. That's a tricky one. Okay, and then I think I've kept the math game the same for you as last Monday. We're going to go to the math playground and just kind of play with some money a little bit. It helps to kind of have it in your hands as much as you can. So on the next slide, let's go to the math playground. Don't forget about doing these problems in Seesaw for me. Thanks.